We've been told our whole lives that specialization is the only way to succeed. That if we don't pick one path, we'll end up mediocre at everything.
But what if your too many interests aren't a distraction, but your greatest economic advantage?
Today, we're going to talk about how to stop trying to fit into a specialist's world and start getting paid for the one thing they can't do, connecting the dots. If you're watching this, you've probably felt it. That creeping guilt when someone asks, "So, what do you do?" and you don't have a simple answer. Maybe you're 30, 40, or even 50, and you still don't know what you want to be when you grow up. You look at your peers who picked a lane at 22 and stayed in it, and you wonder, what's wrong with me? We've talked before about the pattern weaver, the person whose brain is a loom, constantly collecting threads from different fields to weave a unique tapestry. But there's a harsh reality we have to face. The modern economy was built for the specialist, the person who digs one deep well. But the world is changing rapidly. In an AI-driven world, deep, narrow specialists are actually becoming the most easily replaced. An algorithm can learn coding syntax or financial modeling faster than you ever could. But what an algorithm can't do is synthesis. Synthesizers, the people who can bridge the gaps between completely different fields, are quietly becoming the most valuable, highest-paid people in the room. Let's talk about the synthesis edge. Society tells you that value comes from knowing one thing 100%. If you want to be a software engineer, you better be the absolute best at writing code. But what if value doesn't come from being the top 1% in one thing? What if it comes from being in the top 30% in 2 or 3 completely unrelated things? When you know 2 different fields 70% well, you become the only person who can see how they work together. Take psychology and software engineering. A pure psychologist might struggle to build a product. A pure software engineer might build a product no one actually wants to use. But someone who understands both? They aren't just a coder anymore. They are a high-level user experience architect. They understand the human mind and the machine, and companies will pay a massive premium for that bridge. Your value isn't in the depth of a single well. It's in the intersection. So, how do you find your intersection? Right now, your interests might look like a random pile of jigsaw pieces. You need to find what I call the golden thread. Here's an exercise. Grab a piece of paper and write down your top 5 obsessions from the last 3 years. The rabbit holes you went down at 2 a.m. Maybe it's behavioral economics, interior design, fitness tracking, gardening, and video game lore? It looks like chaos, but I want you to look closer. What is the common denominator? Is it a fascination with systems? Are you obsessed with aesthetics and human environments? Do you love understanding human behavior and motivation? That hidden commonality, that golden thread, is your actual niche. You aren't randomly jumping between topics. You are exploring the exact same core concept through different lenses. Once you see the thread, you can start weaving it into a career. So, what do these careers actually look like? Here are 3 high-value paths designed specifically for pattern weavers. Number 1, the integrator. This is your business operations, product management, or strategy role. Companies are full of specialists who literally cannot talk to each other. The marketing team doesn't understand the engineering team. The integrator is the bilingual translator. You get paid to connect different departments because you understand enough about everything to see the big picture. The creative polymath.
Think content creation, exhibit design, or brand strategy.
In these roles, your ability to pull inspiration from a documentary on ancient Rome and apply it to a modern tech brand is your superpower. Your diverse inputs create outputs that specialists simply cannot replicate. The T-shaped professional. This is where you have a broad, horizontal base of varied knowledge across many fields, but you have one vertical skill that goes deep enough to act as your foot in a door. Maybe you're a solid copywriter, but your broad knowledge of tech, psychology, and pop culture makes your writing incredibly unique. But what if one job just isn't enough?
What if you need multiple outlets?
Enter the portfolio career strategy. Stop looking for one magical job that satisfies all your interests. It probably doesn't exist. Instead, build a stack. Your stack looks like this. First, you have one stability project. This could be a part-time role, a contract job, or a steady freelance gig that pays the bills and uses your most established skills. Second, you have 2 growth projects. These are your side hustles or active learning phases. Maybe it's a YouTube channel or a small e-commerce store. And third, you have 1 wild card. This is pure curiosity. No pressure to monetize. Just learning pottery or studying astronomy because you want to. And when you're applying for roles or talking to recruiters, you have to rebrand yourself. You aren't unfocused. You are adaptable and cross-disciplinary. You don't have a messy resume. You have a proven track record of rapidly mastering new systems. It's all about how you tell the story. The world doesn't need another person who can only dig one hole. The world is facing incredibly complex, interconnected problems that require people who can see the whole map. Your curiosity is not a liability. Your graveyard of abandoned hobbies is actually a treasure chest of unique perspectives. When you stop apologizing for your many interests and start actively combining them, you don't just find a job. You create a category of one. I want to hear from the pattern weavers out there. Go to the comments right now and tell me your 2 most unrelated interests. Let's have the community, and I'll jump in too, suggest a career path that combines them. You aren't a master of none. You are a master of connection.
Now go build some bridges.